Good morning, everyone. I was listening to John describing what I've done, and he's missed some of the most important things, which is going to chat once in a while, and my photography escapades and things like that. But I guess that's for the second portion of the meeting. Good. Seriously, John, thank you very much for the introduction. So, good morning to all of you. I sincerely do appreciate this opportunity to speak before this group today. See, I firmly believe that location and presence will be the cornerstones of the most successful wireless applications for the foreseeable future. Now, as I look around today, I recognize that each of you play a role, and maybe a distinctive role in making localization an essential part of users' lives. I'd also like to extend my appreciation to the upcoming speakers and panelists, some of which I guess are from Verizon, whose expertise will make this event informative and memorable. But before I begin, I want to recognize what an honor it is to speak here at WPI, a school which quite a few years ago now was on the short list of institutions I considered for my education. Your outstanding academics, the faculty and research programs, as John just described, create a unique environment where science and technology confront real-world challenges. It's not all about the theory, but it's about putting the theory to practice. And after nearly a century and a half, you continue to live up to your founder's goal, is theory and practice. Now today, we stand in the doorway to a time when wireless will be the preferred and primary way that most consumers and businesses communicate. It's a time when both traditional voice and the newer communications methods rely on a single, robust wireless IP platform that integrates smoothly with the next generation internet. I'm excited about this opportunity, and as the CTO of Verizon, I strive to drive my company to advance this vision. That's why, frankly, I've been so aggressive about LTE, and why I took great pleasure in announcing our plans to be on the bleeding edge of LTE at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona a couple of years ago. Since I believe so strongly in LTE as an enabling platform for the future, let me start by updating you on Verizon's plans in the 4G arena. 2010, this year, is the year in which we will make LTE commercial reality in the U.S. We're currently in the final stages of our pre-commercial testing. We're doing that in Boston and in Seattle. And later this year, we'll turn up LTE coverage for about 1/3 of the population of the U.S., or about 100 million pops, as our industry likes to refer to it. By 2013, Verizon's LTE network will grow to match or exceed our current 3G footprint. And because of the 700 megahertz spectrum that we're deploying and has been assigned to us on a nationwide basis, after we get to matching our 3G footprint, we intend to continue expanding. We continue to move towards the point where there's ubiquity of 4G across the country. Well, let's get back to the focus of this conference. As I mentioned, I believe that location and presence will be keys to the successful wireless applications in the months and years ahead. Imagine all the incredible commercial opportunities we can create by processing all that information. Our increasingly powerful smartphones and wireless devices over a truly intelligent wireless broadband network. Best of all, we'll be able to maximize the value we deliver to users. And without users, there's nothing. To fully realize our vision, one thing we need is a localization ecosystem in which we work together to improve the technology, agree on standards, and guarantee privacy for our users. I see this conference as an important part of that ecosystem development. Today's GPS-enabled devices feature improved location accuracy and time to delivery, which is helping to drive the popularity of localization services. In addition, the growing consumer awareness of GPS devices is creating a virtuous circle of user discovery and adoption of new location-based services. But before I go on, I think it might be helpful to take a moment to realize how location technology has evolved over the years. As you know, GPS was originally developed for military use, but has also been used extensively for commercial purposes such as fleet management and consumer navigation systems, and particularly in automobiles. Now, back in 1997, an intense focus on localization was triggered by the FCC mandate requiring all carriers to be able to locate the source of emergency 911 calls made from wireless phones. Specific accuracy and time to deliver requirements were very demanding and required extensive research and development. Closing that gap between the FCC requirements and actual capabilities took a number of years. In an effort to meet the FCC mandate, the initial search was for this one killer technology that would solve all problems. But GPS was designed specifically for outdoor locations. Wireless WANs, our cell phone networks, were designed to communicate anywhere. So there was a mismatch. After years of trials, it was clear that one single technology could not cover all possible environments and scenarios. As a result, we've worked to develop a hybrid of various technologies to meet the stringent accuracy and time to deliver requirements the FCC has placed on us. But we still have work to do to improve this hybrid model. And as additional technologies evolve, we'll need to add them to the mix. But this shows how we as an industry can come together to solve problems, improve the technology, and enhance consumer experience. This challenge has literally created a new industry around location-based services, or LBS as we refer to them, and given this industry a head start that it wouldn't have had without this early challenge from the FCC. Consumers will see the next major advances in the area of smartphone applications. In fact, Juniper Research estimates that by 2014, the global LBS market will be worth more than $12 billion, largely due to the increased popularity of advanced smartphones. Now, like most carriers, all of Verizon Wireless's phones are GPS enabled. We launched our VZ Navigator application several years ago. It remains one of our premier applications and is broadly perceived as adding significant value to customer subscriptions. The product has evolved to include 3D views. It integrates real-time traffic information, and it now provides information on restaurants, gas stations, and other places of interest. There's also a wide array of other location-based apps that have been developed for use on our smartphones. The LBS market continues to grow at a rapid pace. A recent Mobile Marketing Association survey indicated that a quarter of all U.S. wireless phone users have used a mobile location-based service. And anecdotal information, not surprisingly, shows that people who have Android OS-based phones and iPhones are the heaviest users of location apps. Smartphones currently make up only about 20% of our wireless phone market, but their sales are growing at an impressive 55 to 60% worldwide at this point in time. With this kind of growth, the tipping point to mass acceptance and adoption of LBS has definitely arrived. Not all location applications will get or need a large audience. Even niche products are valuable to their target audience. Let's briefly examine some of the LBS categories to understand the breadth of the market opportunities we're seeing. The first location service that nearly everyone with a new LBS-enabled device will experience is mapping their location. How many of us haven't taken our smartphone out of the box and found out where we are? Some people are surprised when they find out where they are. From there, the user moves to navigation, which provides turn-by-turn directions, as well as drive time, construction and traffic delays, and mass transit options. The next logical progression of LBS adoption is local search, which Juniper Research estimates will be used by 1.5 billion people by that same 2014. Search can occur simultaneously with mapping and navigation, and the convergence of these services enables a key revenue opportunity: local advertising, which will support the application's business model. Services that provide user reviews as part of location-aware search have gained a strong foothold with smartphone users. A great LBS success story is telematics, an area in which I have a significant personal interest and involvement, have had frankly for more than 10 years now. Verizon is the underlying carrier for OnStar, as well as a variety of other similar services from other automobile manufacturers. OnStar, as you know, is a location-based service where millions of subscribers at this point are provided with in-vehicle services, navigation, and as it started, life-saving emergency assistance. Another service category features various family finder applications, which are aimed at parents of younger and teenage children, but not exclusively so. Now, parents can track the whereabouts of their child, or they can be alerted when the child has left a pre-designated zone. These apps can also be used to check the location of family members with, for example, medical conditions such as Alzheimer's patients. Social networking applications that allow users to check in and locate friends are well received by their users. They're typically aimed at young adults who grew up in the digital age. They're comfortable with new technology, and importantly, they know how to set the app's privacy controls. While there are very few privacy concerns among this group of users, this could be an issue in the bigger universe. However, we believe this is solved in this particular case by requiring the consent of each party before enabling the application. Now, I want to point out here that Verizon has always maintained the highest ethical standards when it comes to protecting consumer privacy. But new location-based services have the potential to allow personal information to be used and misused by third parties. The industry has the responsibility to safeguard that information in compliance with customers' requirements and appropriate regulations and laws. You've probably heard the rumors that Facebook may be getting ready to add a location-based mobile app that would become available to 500 million registered users. At the end of last year, more than 65 million users of Facebook were accessing through wireless devices. And those mobile users are 50% more active on Facebook than non-mobile users. Providing a useful and trustworthy location-based service to this huge group would drive usage into the mainstream, and we'd move well beyond this doorway at which we're sitting today. Now, another popular location service is geotagging, which allows users to search for content based on where it was created. Twitter is encouraging subscribers to add location tags to their tweets so that others can search for things that interest them based on location. For example, you get information on the Gulf oil spill from people living in New Orleans. The National Wildlife Foundation has an app that lets nature lovers instantly post wildlife sightings containing geotags of the animal's location, providing a searchable archive of observations. Now, as I said before, I happen to enjoy photography, and geotagging will allow me to automatically identify where each and every shot was taken. From there, I could generate a map of my vacation along with stories and restaurant reviews and notes about local points of interest, which I could then share with you. With the increased bandwidth of Verizon's upcoming LTE network, I'll be able to instantly share geotagged videos and allow you to, quote, see what I see, instantaneous. So far, I've highlighted LBS services focused on consumers. They're the easiest thing for all of us to relate to. But another area Verizon has targeted is machine-to-machine communications. I believe that we'll see M-to-M communications built into a very, very wide variety of things that may seem unusual to people today, such as shipping containers, medical monitoring equipment, certainly smart electric meters, to name just a few. Localization can be used to provide faster and better healthcare delivery by allowing administrators to track caregivers, medical resources, and patients. For example, as our population continues to age, telecare will play a significant role in providing safe, independent living for our seniors. We could see a wearable device that measures specific vital signs for the particular patient, can detect falls and location, and communicate automatically in real time with care providers in the event of an emergency situation. Localization can also be used to mine geospecific traffic data that can provide real-time updates, allowing drivers to find nearby available parking, avoid traffic jams, and report unsafe road conditions. Aggregate and anonymous data from mobile devices, traffic cameras, and toll stations can give customers, government agencies the ability to monitor and control traffic lights for optimal flow. The same concepts could be put to use for public transportation and commercial shippers. Location-based sensors can assist corporations who need to monitor their infrastructure and track their assets. In addition, companies can use localization to enhance their customer relationships by providing geo-based loyalty programs and promotions based on individual customer preference and individual customer location. Now, these examples are just the tip of the geo iceberg. We're only limited by our imagination, and I'm sure there's a lot more imagination in this room than me. 20 years ago, when plain vanilla cell phones were about this big, and they were becoming quite popular, few could have imagined the dynamic transformation those devices would go through. And as we walk today through this doorway of wireless innovation, the same will be true for the future of LBS-enabled devices, if we do it right. So, in the spirit of WPI's theory and practice, here's a few thoughts on what I believe is necessary to deliver a superior LBS experience to users. First, increased adoption of location-based services will require cooperative efforts by many disparate interests. The participants in this workshop represent one and maybe more than one of the key interest groups necessary to move location technology and services forward. Our mutual philosophy needs to be focused on a collaboration approach to drive success in mobile location-based services. No single entity, whether you're a network provider, a manufacturer, a technologist, or an apps developer, and by the way, apps developers are becoming more and more important. No one of these will be able to envision and provide every aspect of the ecosystem on its own. Together, we'll help to create the next generation of services that will release the full power and potential of LBS to the consumers and businesses and create the opportunity to drive additional demand and additional service innovation. We need to encourage standardization and interoperability because a proliferation of proprietary solutions will stunt the growth of innovation, and localization will not achieve its potential. There are many partners involved in the delivery of the final service. This can make it very difficult if you're trying to align multiple proprietary pieces into a positive user experience. Interfaces must be standardized so that developers can build a consistent service for all operating platforms and for all networks. Another key area is improving energy efficiency in devices. We must continue to research and develop advances in technology that will allow us to design smaller GPS devices, smaller location capabilities in our smartphones that use less power. I'm still waiting, and although we sell them, I will say this, I'm still waiting for the smartphone that we can comfortably charge only once a day. The GPS functionality within the smartphone is one of the opportunities to get us to that panacea of a charge a day. We also need to improve location accuracy. One key approach is to recognize the synergistic improvement of results which can be achieved if we find a way to logically and efficiently integrate the data from multiple technologies and sources at the same time. I'd like to see data from GPS and Wi-Fi access points and radio frequency fingerprinting and proximity sensors to be algorithmically used for an accurate location fix. As is often the case, military developments provide significant civilian benefit, as we saw with the deployment of the original and subsequent updates to the U.S. GPS system, Navstar. We need to continue to cooperatively work to gain benefits for the public, for from the military advances in this area. To those in academia, many of you here in this room, we continue to need your research in areas such as next-generation IP routing algorithms to reduce latency in delivery of content for these data-hungry location-based applications. We need to improve position accuracy for indoor applications. Privacy architectures to establish location and presence so that user identity can remain anonymous and protected is important, regardless of what we personally may think of it. It's a real hot button for many people. Wireless sensors and automated tracking which support end-to-end communications without user intervention will be very important. Many of these wireless sensors will be embedded upon manufacturer and have to be there for the life of the equipment or the device in which they're put. Exploring and understanding human mobility patterns that open opportunities for location-relevant information delivery based on predictive behaviors is a real opportunity for those developing the applications for the future. Now, for service providers like myself, there's a responsibility of integrating and delivering a variety of location services to the end user. Precise and accurate user experience is essential for mass adoption of these services. And finally, if you're in the application development arena, you need to focus on the unmet needs of users. Location-based apps, especially those with a subscription model, that is a cost per month, must offer a superior value proposition or they will never go anywhere. Location-based service opportunities must allow users to control their privacy concerns. Users must be comfortable with the information that they provide, and they need to know how that personal data will be used. With the integration of social networking and retail apps, their concerns extend to sharing information about their friends or receiving intrusive marketing that they don't want. We need to work together to ensure that customers always have the choice to opt in to these services. And they can easily change settings to control their personal information. Now, this conference is critical in my mind to the continued development of location services that will advance and improve the quality of life in the digital age. Working together, we can improve localization accuracy, establish industry standards, and create useful platforms for application development. Now, I encourage you to make the most of this great opportunity to expand the localization ecosystem. Today's program is an excellent forum to share information on new technologies and opportunities. What's most important is they will allow our users, our customers, to manage their lives better and have a more seamless and spontaneous wireless experience. And with that, I'd like to thank you very much and ask you to please have a very